Hey, Casas Adobe's Pastor John here. And, sometimes when we look at our phones and we look at all of the news that comes in, even if it's just like social media, it always seems like, oh my gosh, the world is falling apart. We see all sorts of political turmoil and strife and war and climate change and all sorts of things that just really can trouble us. And it's not a pleasant thing to do, but still we stay attached to our phones, looking at all of the news of the world and of our lives. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about what the scripture is going to be saying about that this week. So we're looking at both a psalm and at the Gospel of Mark. And in the psalm, it talks about all of these troubles and everything, but that God is with us. God stays with us. And then in the Gospel of Mark, Jesus is walking through the temples with his friends, and they're kind of looking around and seeing this great, beautiful temple that King Herod spent a lot of time building. And they're looking, and it's like, wow, look at this. And Jesus is like, yeah. And he said, you know what? This is pretty good architecture, don't you think? And they're like, yeah, it is. He said, you know what? Not one stone will remain upon the next. So the whole thing will come tumbling down. And it makes his disciples very, very troubled. And it's like, well, when? How are we going to know when this happens? And Jesus like, well, when you'll know when you start hearing about all of the troubles, you'll hear about wars and people fighting and terrible things with the climate. And you know what's funny is that people for centuries have been looking at this and been saying, oh, look, Jesus is talking about the end of the world. He's talking about the end of the world. And look, it's tomorrow. I figured out on the calendar. I very carefully worked out the days and times. And it's going to be on November 30th, 1143. Okay, no, it's not what Jesus is talking about. Jesus is talking about the turmoil of life. You know, we face this every day, every single day. We face our temples falling down, the stones just tumbling down on us. Look what we've been through. We've been through COVID, a pandemic, we've been through social unrest, we've been through political unrest and climate things, hot summers, hot winters, um, and droughts, and the world is falling down. And it's not that we are supposed to be praying and saying, oh boy, the world's going to come to an end and Jesus is going to come make everything new. Yes, Jesus does come and renew everything, but you know what? Renews through us, through our lives. And we're not supposed to give up. We are not supposed to just sort of crumble down under those rocks. But we are supposed to know that God is with us and that we are able to go together with God and move forward through all of this. So even if our temples come crashing down, we still have God with us. Even if we're faced with challenges, that's what our hands and our minds are for, that we can face them and that we can do something about it. So don't give up. That's what Jesus is talking about. Don't give up because God is with you. And so in Fun Day School this week, Miss Rita is going to be helping us look at the story about Hannah. Hannah and her prayers in the Old Testament. She's someone who never gave up, and she would be on the steps of the temple praying every day to the point that Eli came. He's the high priest, and he's like, there's something wrong with her. because she's just so persistent. But he was dead wrong. He was dead wrong because she was persistent. There was nothing wrong with her. So we're going to be studying that too. All right. So I will hopefully see you at Fun Day School. And in the meantime, don't give up. Okay. I want you to be safe, be well, and of course, be a blessing. And we will be looking at this scripture together. All right. Peace.